Hi, welcome to Shoptalk with TNT. I am Tadd with LakePlace.com, Brothers Realty.
Trent Nyhus, Farmers Insurance with the Nyhus Agency.
And interestingly enough, we are here with Brothers Realty, both owners, Darin and Brett Moravitz. Welcome, guys.
Welcome, Tadd. Welcome, Trent.
We'll just jump right into questions. I think some stuff that we are very interested to find out is kind of some history about how you guys started, some dynamics about running a business and being brothers.
Yeah.
Why don't we start with when did you guys start becoming realtors?
1999 was when I started. We were both buddies with a little rugrat at the time called David Schaefer. His dad, Tom Schaefer, which just about everybody knows, was in the real estate business for a long time, and I always kind of liked what he did. So when I was going through high school, hanging out at the Schaefer residence, I kind of grew up around Tom in that business. So kind of took a shine to that and went to work for a different real estate company to start out with, just for a brief period of time, and then came and joined Tom, who was Johnson & Johnson Land Company at the time, I think. Or were they already Coldwell Banker, I think, by then. Banker. Yeah. So that was in 1999, and then Brett can tell you his story.
It was, I don't know, maybe 2 years later. Well, it was 2001 when I started. I wasn't really happy doing what I was doing either, and I saw Darin was kind of enjoying what he was doing, so I decided to get my license and give it a try too. And I actually started out, Tom had an office in Birchwood, and that's where I started out, and actually worked up there the first 5 or 6 years. And then I've been working out of Cumberland ever since 2008, which is when we bought the company from Tom.
Okay.
Maybe your next question.
No.
So yeah, we ended up buying the company from Tom Schaefer in 2008, and remained Coldwell Banker Johnson & Johnson until, 2015. That sound about right?
Yeah.
And then we franchised with LakePlace.com instead. We've been LakePlace.com Brothers Realty since then.
And in 2008, we had, do we have 4 offices or 3?
Three.
And then we shut down Birchwood at some point shortly after we bought.
Yeah, not long after. We bought in the beginning of 2008, and then the market crashed in, the end of 2008?
About 2 days after we bought, we realized we were in a recession.
Yeah, it wasn't the best timing for us. Probably pretty good timing for Tom.
Full disclosure, these are the two that I worked for, so I started in October of 2010, and for a brief period, you had the Birchwood office.
We did.
When I was there, so I do remember having the Birchwood office.
It was probably around 11 or so when we closed it.
It wasn't very long after I started to shut that one down.
Yeah, there was a rough stretch there between 2008 and 2012, I would say. It's probably the period of the recession affected us the most. So
I think we found out, too, that it works pretty well for us just to have the 2 offices that we've had. We talked about expanding into other communities, somewhere down the road there, but I think we've just kind of settled into having 2 offices, and we're pretty content with that because it works well. So
if you have a third, you have to find someone to run it, someone you trust,
salespeople
with
work
your
it.
values.
And it's kind of, it's salespeople. Sometimes they stay for a long time at certain offices, and other times it's kind of like a revolving door. So it's just would have been added other challenges to what we already had going on, and just didn't feel the need to, I guess, do that. So
our two staple offices are Cumberland and Turtle Lake offices at this point.
And you used to have one in Birchwood. I remember Tom talking about one in Spooner that used to be.
Yeah.
Were you guys around for that?
I was.
Yeah,
I was working with Tom at the time.
Was that the only
4 of them?
Yeah,
that I can remember.
Yeah, I think he might have had a little satellite office in Hagen with one agent at one time, or 2 agents. But
Tom closed down Spooner quite a while before we bought from him. I don't remember exactly.
Because that's actually where Pam, your admin here,
our
came
Cumberland,
from.
Our Cumberland administrator Pam came down from the office in Spooner. When we bought here, we had some staff changes.
Yeah,
and
enough
Pam was a very seasoned administrator up in Spooner, and it just worked out real well. We had an open seat, and she was kind of looking for to keep her.
So
job.
she's been here for
between Tom and us now. We've owned it for, what did we say, 2008?
Yeah.
So 13.
And then
thanks for the math, Tad. 20-something years. Anyway, Pam's been with this company.
Okay.
So I think there's a little bit of in-between time there where she worked for a title company or something, but probably getting off on a tangent now.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's hard to find people experienced, you know. Like,
Yeah.
And it's hard to keep people long enough to be experienced.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it takes a lot of effort to train new people if they don't have experience. I mean, it's exhausting to start from scratch with that.
Yeah.
So we've been pretty fortunate to have Pam here for so long. So
And then in Turtle Lake, we have another admin down there by the name of Candace Moen, and she's been with us
A few
year and a couple years.
Oh, it's
is it
two.
two?
Oh, you're better at math. Tell me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a little while. I mean, yeah, but we've had to train a few in there.
Yeah, we've gone
Since I've
through.
been there,
We've gone through a few more down there than up here for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then again, it's always nice to have Pam to help, to help the new one.
Absolutely.
So.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
So my question to you guys is, obviously you guys are brothers. Darin being the older one, which I found out just a couple minutes ago.
Younger one.
Dang it. Yeah. What's the dynamics of being brothers and owning a business together? I know I have siblings, and I think that would be a big challenge for me. Maybe it's because you guys have two offices, you don't get to see each other, and you can't give each other noogies or wet willies during the day. Or
Yeah, we save that for evenings.
yeah, Christmas parties.
Yeah,
you know.
family events.
Yeah.
I'll take a swing at this first, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, not really take a swing. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I think Darin and I had a pretty good understanding of where we stood when it comes to just work ethic and how we do business and treat people in general. And we both have shortcomings. I think that we both understand for the most part. But in the end, sometimes we gripe about a few things, but it doesn't take long, and just back to business as usual.
Yeah, we haven't swung at each other yet, I guess. And
You've all showed up for all the family events you're supposed to, and no one's boycotted anything.
no, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know. It's been pretty easy for the most
smooth.
part. I mean,
Yeah.
we've been pretty fortunate because that isn't always the case, obviously, with family-owned business. So
Yeah, I think just being on the same track of mind for the most part, just with work and business and recreation too. I mean, we have the same interests when we're not working as well, so that helps.
oh,
And your wife also is a realtor for you guys too, correct?
You're kind
She
of
is.
double whammied.
Yeah.
yeah.
You can't get away from your family
No.
if you wanted to.
Every Christmas party, got to talk about work. Yeah, she's been with us 5-6 years probably. Started out with as an assistant for Brett and I. Got her feet wet for 2 years doing that before she actually jumped into sales. So, we keep her up here in Cumberland, and I stay in Turtle Lake. That makes for a happy marriage, I think. So, yeah.
Good for her and you. Yeah.
So you guys actually both went to college for something different, correct? I mean, you went to
He
school.
went for something really different.
Yeah, but I mean, you went to school as a business?
Yeah, business administration and a property management minor.
Okay.
But I didn't need that to do what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So then you both made the decision to become realtors, and one of the fascinating things that I think me and Trent have learned from talking to other people, because you could have been realtors for Tom or for whoever bought the company for a while, or you could have went somewhere else. You guys are both successful, so you could have kept doing that. What made you want to make the jump into ownership? Because you guys own the two franchises. Agents work under you. There's different business dynamics out there for different realtor companies. But what made you decide to take the jump into being owners?
Want to be owners or just into real estate?
No,
Owners.
into owners. Yep.
I'll start with that, I guess. Tom was the owner at the time, and he was getting towards retirement, or
That lingered.
he said
on.
retirement.
I was going to
but
say that lingered
never
on
happened
for 13
until
years. Yeah.
15 years.
Yeah.
he was
How many retirement parties did he have?
he was the
I think
longest
we had a
running
few of them.
retiree we ever had that retired. Tom, are you retired yet?
Yeah. He quit coming. He quit coming. So.
Yeah. So he was going to want to cut back in the business or get out. And I don't know. I just thought it would be a good opportunity maybe to purchase the company and try it. So I planned on selling real estate. I figured why not own it?
Okay.
And I don't know. Then
I think-
asked you to join in, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it started out with me and asked you to join.
I think he felt pretty comfortable. We had worked with him, for him for a number of years.
Yep.
And I think he felt pretty comfortable knowing that, he was going to have some skin in the game after the sale for a while too.
Yeah,
So it was a pretty good working relationship for a number of years after the sale. So
Yeah. He had to do a little financing for us.
Well,
Yeah, a lot of businesses go that way.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was part of it. I think it was just probably the relationship that we had with Tom was
Camaraderie,
yeah.
long, it's basically a friendship. you
Yeah,
know,
well,
with him and
Tom's
his kid.
hard to get along with. I mean,
Yeah.
So there's probably only a few people in this world that.
Ornery SOB.
Yeah.
so.
Sorry.
And
Sorry, Tom.
we had both been in it long. For me, it had been 7 or 8 years. Darin, probably 9 years or something like that. So I think we both had had managing brokers licenses by then.
Yep.
I know I was managing the Birchwood office for a while by then. So
Yeah.
just kind of seemed like the next step when the opportunity came available.
So my question, and then kind of in this day and age of me being a salesman, we're all salesmen, and we're we'll throw it out there, we're all commission based.
Yeah.
So not having that set salary, how hard do you guys find it to find a salesman that's motivated to realize that, hey, yep, I'm not guaranteed to get X amount of dollars each month, but I'm also not guaranteed. I don't have a cap. I can make as much money as I want. How hard is it to find younger salespeople to come in that are hungry, that want to do that type of work?
I'd say it's not easy. It takes a self-motivated individual to do something like that. But it seems like for us, when we really needed to fill a desk, we struggled to find someone. It seemed like the people that we had that have been good or have been longer term kind of showed up when we really weren't looking for agents. To me, it seems like it was more when we really weren't actively looking that we got the people that we had the longest and we're happy, really happy to have.
It's definitely tougher for a younger agent to get in the business because more than likely they don't have that supplemental income to support while they grow their real estate business. So it's probably tougher to recruit a young agent, but we did recruit one this year and working a side job and selling real estate, which is what you got to do to get your feet wet.
Yeah, there's a point in time there where you got to make that. I mean, I think if you're going to be successful, you got to be doing it full time.
You do.
But, I mean, there is a point where you got to. And I was the same way. Like, oh my goodness, I'm going to leave.
You got to pay the bills.
Yeah. This person pays me every time I show up. Darin and Brett, they rarely paid me back then. But there is a point where you just got to say, all right, I'm either in or I'm out. I got to make the jump. And
Yeah, and everybody will realize when that point is.
But it is. It seems like you almost have to have a side gig if you're coming into a green into real estate just to help supplement the bills. I actually did roofing 2 days a week and sold real estate 4 days a week when I first started. So
Okay.
And I think I did excavating and sold real estate and milk cows and I don't know what else.
Yeah.
well,
Time ago.
I've done all kinds of things.
Yeah. So you just find ways to
Drove bus.
find ways to make it work if you want to.
Well, and it is tough too, because like if you got to find someone who's willing to let you come. Okay, you can come roof with me for 2 days. Some people don't even want that kind of help. If you're not going to show up every day, I don't want you.
Maybe back then. Now,
Now anybody will take it.
2 hours.
Yeah.
Show up 1 day a week, sure, we'll take you.
Yeah.
And then we've had some older agents, maybe near retirement or whatever, that got in the real estate business, which obviously that's a little bit easier for them. They're financially more stable.
Well, they're more doing it for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's hard for a younger agent, definitely.
Yep. It's expensive. It's expensive to start. It's you're saying you got to pay all your dues, all your fees, you got to pay all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then okay, now hopefully you make some money now.
But it's rather easy to get your license. I mean, I think it still takes a 72-hour course. I believe.
like that.
It was 36 when I started. It's 72 now.
Yeah.
And we kind of had to do. I think we had to do it in person in class. I drove to Eau Claire every day. But now you can take it online.
Yeah.
And you can do it in 6 days or 6 months.
6 months.
10 years ago, I
Probably not
did
6 days.
You get 6 months once you purchase that.
Yeah.
And it's fairly, to order the course, it's fairly cheap.
Yeah.
I think it's like $350
Yeah.
to take the
Yeah, it wasn't
72-hour
bad.
course. But that's just the scratching the surface is what it costs to get you started. So
That's not including the MLS fees.
Right. Yeah. For aspiring new agents, it's
Yeah.
one thing that people don't. I think a lot of people don't think about is that your cost.
Just first day here.
We were kind of talking about new agents, what it costs, what it costs to get into it and stuff like that. I guess I'd like to kind of switch gears a little bit. You guys have been doing this for 20 plus years. 1999, 2001, all the way to 2021. You guys, 99, 2001, market was good. You guys bought the company and ruined the real estate market.
Yes. Yep.
So that was a low, and now maybe this year was a peak. I don't know. Hopefully not. Maybe it's still going up.
Yeah, no, it's kind of been a record-setting year every year since
I got here. Pretty much.
Maybe.
I was going to say, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think last year seemed to be a little bit stronger than this year, just because the shortage of supply.
It's going to be close to last year. I would say record-setting year every year since, I was going to say maybe like 13 or 14, but maybe it's been since Tad got here. Like he says.
I don't know. When I started, I remember Tom telling me, he goes, well, you probably couldn't have picked a worse year to start in real estate.
Well, where to go but up? 2010?
2010, yeah.
Yeah,
there was nowhere to go but up.
Yeah. So I've now seen the down and I've seen the up,
Yeah. No, we had some good times, and then we had a number of years of bad times.
Yeah.
It was really tough.
2003, 4, 5, that was good. Then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 was bad. And then ever since it's been
slowly coming up. Yeah, it's like anything else. It's so easy to lose things, but it's so hard to build back.
Yeah. Oh, there was a time there where we we got a closing next month. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
We'll be able to keep the doors open for one more month.
Yeah.
It was down to that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I remember exactly what property sold to keep the doors open one more month back in 2000, whatever it was, 9.
Yeah. Maybe
It was right out here by Silver Lake. I don't know if you remember that one, but anyway.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but back to good times for now, I guess.
Yeah. So I mean, like anything commission based, when you're making money, you better be squirreling it away because you never know when 2008 can happen again.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So you have something to fall back on.
We're a little different position now than we were then. I mean, it's pretty green behind the ears there.
Yeah. Well, baptism by fire. I mean, you learned a lot. Not so much out of necessity. I mean, I've got to figure out a way to make this work. Otherwise, it's not here next month. You know?
The good times in sales they're good, but it seems like they also come with a little more stress and a little more high emotion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This year seems like,
well, it was like
more than ever. It's
I mean, I've never
stressful.
heard so many negative comments. Like, hey, I sitting at a listing table with somebody. Well, so and so told me that you guys, do something that's bad that we don't do.
Yeah. When people lose out on make a strong offer on a house, they lose out.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to not be sore about that.
Yeah, I mean, without any detail.
Yeah.
Just quickly tell your little Horseshoe Lake story.
The log one.
Yeah.
So I listed a log home on Horseshoe Lake this summer, and we listed it which I thought was optimistic.
Yeah.
Ended up having like a dozen showings over the weekend, multiple offers. The sellers ended up countering 2 people that had presented the best 2 offers or submitted the best 2 offers, and ultimately they had 2 offers to pick from that were $100,000 over asking price. So but then you had 2 other people that wrote for tens of thousands of dollars over asking price, and they got rejected. So that's a tough pill for a buyer to swallow.
And there's people are thinking, oh my gosh, someone paid $100,000 more than somebody asked, but there was also somebody out there who was willing to do that as well that didn't get it.
I
mean,
so
that would
number 2 buyer is probably the one that was the
yeah.
most sore out of that deal.
Yeah, and then the people that wrote for
50 over.
Yeah, they probably thought, oh my God, are we being ridiculous by doing this? And find out that they weren't anywhere close to what they needed to be.
Yeah,
I mean,
a $50,000 over asking price, still $50,000 short. I mean, that's kind of that situation can happen.
And both those 2 higher offers were cash and non-contingent offers. Too,
and that's too. No financing and inspection. Well, I don't even know if we had inspections to deal with on it. It was just quick and so. I mean, but it happened pretty fast, but it was a stressful time for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's going back. I mean, we've all kind of went through not that, but situations similar where it was so hard to. It was so hard to represent a buyer this year, because you were always breaking devastating news to them. Like, I'm sorry, but I know you wrote for more. I know you did this. I know you did that, and
this is the 3rd house in a row you wrote on that not getting.
A lot of work in vain.
Yeah.
So when you guys write an offer, how long does that take for a buyer? So let's say I'm going to buy a house, and we're going to put an offer in. How long are we going to find out that I got it or didn't get it? from the time that we submit the offer?
It depends on the property. Sometimes, like with these lake properties this summer, we would list it on a Thursday, let all the showings happen over the weekend, so everybody that wanted to look, they got to get there in the first.
Well, not everybody, but
Well,
most everybody.
most of the people that, I mean, if they're real serious, they got to get there in a couple days, or they're not going to even have a chance.
Yeah.
And then we deal with everything on Monday. But I think normally, to answer your question, it's normally a day or two turnaround.
Okay.
A lot of times, if we communicate with the other agent, we'll know how much response time to expect from the seller,
Yeah.
or if we know our sellers are available. You know, some are very tech savvy, and you know, a lot of sellers we don't even meet, and we never meet.
Yeah.
They're out of state, and they tell us where they've got keys stashed or whatever. We list and sell their place, send everything electronic for signatures, and close, and never meet them.
Never see them.
So I mean, those are probably almost easier than the ones we have to deal with in person, because you just don't spend time sitting at a table talking about other things like this. You just kind of, it's all business, which is
It was going that way anyway, but COVID even pushed it further.
Oh,
that way.
yep.
yeah. And the ones who aren't tech savvy, it seems like sometimes you need a little bit more response time. So you got to either get together or still have once in a while. You just got to do it by mail.
Yeah.
I haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah, I bet.
You usually find a family member that knows the
Yeah.
unsavvy
That's
people.
the last
that
resort.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
With owning your own business and realties, I would say pretty similar to insurance in the aspect of, hey, I have my cell phone on me 24/7, and you guys probably get calls throughout the night, text messages. Like, how do you guys balance everything with that people can literally get a hold of you anytime, and you kind of have to drop what you're doing to go and sell that house, or at least respond to a message to say, hey, they're interested in this, how do I get going? Or maybe you guys don't do that now because you're later on in your careers, but early on, kind of having to be available 24/7 for your customers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's probably was more prevalent before, but yeah, as we get older, I don't want to say we aren't as responsive, but we do respond timely. But before it was, I never really took much weekends off. I don't have kids, so it wasn't as big a deal for me. But yeah, the weekends you really couldn't plan a vacation with your wife or your family.
It was tough. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a summer vacation with my family, because the minute I get away, then all this stuff is going to happen. It's a guarantee. So, and even some days, like in the summer, if we're going to take the pontoon out on the lake, some days I even contemplate, do we want to go all the way to the other side of the lake? Because I'm going to turn around and come back and go show something. And you can't wait till tomorrow in this market to show something. That's the...
But the phones are handy for the emails and the texting, because we can be bow hunting and still working. Somewhat. So
right.
It's, well, I guess you guys have seen, 1999, that there wasn't a lot of cell phones around then, probably.
No, I remember Tom having a bag phone at one time in his car.
Yeah.
The bag phone.
But I mean, it's not like now where, you pretty much have to go to the office to get a phone call.
It's a plus and a curse having the technology now, I guess.
Yeah.
Before you would, I suppose they'd call you at home or call you at the office and maybe email it, but there was no texting. Yeah. It's hard to get away, but it goes with the occupation.
Even though our office hours are, 8 or 9 to 5, that's the business hours for our office. Those aren't our work hours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, and you guys, you get calls. We have a storm, and whatever.
All time.
Yeah.
And you feel bad, like you get that call at 10:30, and you're like, I don't really know whose number that is, and you let it go to voicemail, and then you listen to the voicemail, and you're like, well, I'm going to call them back as fast as I possibly can, and hopefully they didn't go looking for something else or do something.
I don't think we get a lot of that 10:30 at night stuff. Probably not like you do. Where, like you said, you get a storm and you're getting called immediately. But
I think as you become more experienced in your industry, you can prioritize calls and texts. You kind of know when people are expecting a response. Do they need to be called back right away, or can this wait until
if your phone pops up and it says Minneapolis on it? Those are kind of the ones like, ooh, I really want to answer.
Probably better answer this.
If it's Tad, wait till
tomorrow. Unless he wants to hear me talk with a mouthful of food.
Well, and sometimes, I mean, I've had this happen. I had brothers that owned a property, and one lived in California, and one lived in Hawaii. So there's the time change. You're dealing with. I don't know if you guys ever deal with that.
Yeah, not that drastic.
I was talking to an agent that had not from a different agent for a different company. She had a seller that lived in England. So that was a pretty major time change.
Yeah. That's where email comes in handy.
It is. Yeah. And that's changed. I mean, you guys do a lot of emailing and. Back then, I suppose that was.
I think I remember when I started.
Yeah.
It was a lot of email, a lot of landline phone calls.
Yeah.
And I do remember sending a lot of letters. I remember mailing a lot of listings. I'd print the listing, put it in an envelope, and mail to buyers.
Yeah.
But back then they had several weeks to set up a showing and decide if they wanted to come and look, and then
now by the time you put it in the mail, by the time they get it there, it's
before it gets picked up at the post office.
Around the closing table.
Everybody expects things to happen a lot faster than that day.
It's all right now.
It's just, and that's not just real estate related. Everybody's like that. Yeah, I mean you gotta.
Yeah,
we are a results-driven, quickly world right now.
Yeah, we are. I missed the market of like 5 years ago when, we get a call. You'd have a few days to put the listing on, and it'd be on the market for a few weeks, maybe a month, and you'd finally get an offer, or maybe two, or whatever. But you could just do it at a regular pace.
Yeah.
People could think things. They could sleep on it.
Well, yeah. Well, because now people are they're doing what they should be doing. They're analyzing if their decision is right or not, which is what they should do. But
don't have time for that.
As an agent, kind of you got to either jump out of the boat or go back to the dock.
There's a lot of offers sight unseen actually the last few years. Or FaceTime videos, the agent's shooting video or some kind of video and sends it to the prospective buyer. Never even see the property.
I just had a closing. The guy had never went to the property.
Never went to the cabin.
Yeah, but he had video. Video and lots of pictures and a friend who checked it out. So, but that's technology.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's changed every business. But I mean, you guys are definitely a technology-driven business, and you can be as into it or as not into it as you want. I mean, it's not like you mandate what your agents do. I mean, you definitely give them their recommendations.
The more you're into it, probably the more successful you are.
Yeah.
Technology.
Yep.
Yeah. Your success depends on.
We were. I don't know. Maybe it was just last week. We were talking. We were just talking by ourselves. We were talking about that personal touch with whether it's insurance or real estate, whatever it is. I don't ever want to slip into a virtual world where we don't do this talk anymore.
Yeah.
I do like.
We're pretty close to that.
We are. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's
COVID really
more hands off.
COVID really thrust us into a. I don't know.
Where we were going anyway, maybe eventually.
Well, yeah, but I don't want to get there. I don't want to get where
it sped it up.
Yeah,
for sure. Because like even in our industry, we'll have people that, like you said, we'll never even meet them. They'll do it online. They'll fill out the quote online. We'll call them up, make our recommendations to change their coverages and do all that, and they'll give me their billing information right over the phone, and we send it off an email. They e-signature. I have no idea who they are. Send them a thank you card and go on your way. Yeah. And it's just it's very weird for me because I like to see people face to face. That's the reason I got into sales, is because I wanted to go meet people, and it's just I don't know. Well, especially during COVID, it was super hard not to go and see people or do anything.
Explaining a contract of any kind, whether it's your contract or our contract, via email and maybe some text and maybe some phone calls is much more difficult than it's sitting here with.
Yeah, and it's a little nerve-wracking too because you could read people's faces. Like I just read this thing. I mean, I can look in your face and tell you have no idea what I'm talking about. Or I didn't explain it well enough. So
and most customers aren't reading the contracts from front to back.
Yeah.
So you try to explain it the best you can and the most important points, but spending going on a 9-page offer, line for line, you'd be on the phone quite a while, or conversation, whatever.
And they're not paying attention.
Yeah. Well, like I'm on a couple boards, and even not even boards, but Zoom meetings. I've been in some board meetings, not school board meetings, but different boards where I'm watching my screen of all these other whatever many people in there. that lady's driving in her car. I mean, she's not giving us her full attention.
Yeah.
I can see, she's got her phone sitting on the steering wheel and she's driving. I mean.
Yeah, like you're saying, send out a 20-page contract for electronic review and signing, and you get it back in like 2 minutes. Well, there's no way they read that. So you have to explain it the best you can.
And they just agreed to spend $300,000 too. So now when something comes out, in escrow, when you're in the escrow period, I didn't know I had to do that. Like, well, that thing that you signed in 2 minutes, when
I send the contract out, I do send a pretty lengthy email. It's pretty much the same format every time, explaining the points, but then also call me if you have additional questions. But please read this.
Well, and that's and then like if you get a buyer that has written multiple offers on different properties, you get to the point where change the address, change where it's at, change the price.
You got a seasoned buyer, you don't have to explain much anymore. That's one good thing about somebody not getting something.
Yeah, you can put a $300,000 offer together in 30 seconds. Just by changing some numbers and some addresses.
Yeah. So a little different than restaurants and fitness and fixture building and
but still I don't know what there's still a main theme to it all, really. I mean, it's we haven't talked to anybody that doesn't care about the industry they're in. I mean,
and then all it comes down to is people want to, if you want to work hard and you have the integrity to do the right things, you're going to have a successful business. And I see that's kind of the theme every time we talk to people. I leave there and go, wow, these guys have a ton of passion for what they're doing.
Yeah.
And even though I make fun of Darin a lot about going bow hunting in the fall, but like his passion of the real estate world is huge because of that. And when you talk to people and you actually get to hear their passion of it, it makes it so much better because you realize that just like you said, when you are in your bow stand, I guarantee your phone's out as much as it possibly can, texting people looking at properties and wanting to list things and trying to run your business through your cell phone while you're doing that, which shows that you do care, because if you didn't care, you would just turn your cell phone off and sit in the woods for 8 hours and not talk to anybody.
Yeah.
Which is nice sometimes to do. I don't think we ever get to do that, but
talking about a vacation, sometimes just to put your phone on silent, put it upside down, and put it down and walk away.
There's some spots up by here where your phone don't work.
Yeah,
so that's actually pretty nice.
Yeah, sometimes it's a vacation.
You gotta come home though.
Yeah, and then when you get back into cell service, it's ding, ding, ding.
Or Canada, I mean, there have been a few fishing trips where you just don't have, for several days, you don't have, but boy, it's a lot of catching up when.
Yeah.
And you gotta be thorough.
A lot of planning before you leave.
A lot of planning, leaving, getting the voicemails set up, and auto emails set up.
And that's maybe something some people don't understand. Like, and I don't want to pick on. Maybe I shouldn't even say this. Get myself in trouble. But
like a 9-to-5 job. Where
like when you leave, somebody picks up your slack. When you leave, nobody sits at your desk.
Nobody wants your headaches when you're
gone. So it's not like it's not. I mean, you got to take a vacation, but when Monday rolls around, you're going to get punished for it.
Yeah. So and you had to plan ahead a little bit too.
So. Well, plan what time of year to go. Yeah. That maybe you're not as busy, but
try to get people like Tadd, who's in the office, help me out when I'm gone.
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
Which that's.
We do rely on each other's help when we are gone for even half a day sometimes. Yeah. But it comes and goes. Comes around, goes around. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Good admins though. I mean, they know what they're doing. They know where to slack to pick up.
Definitely. Yep.
Well, I think this is probably a good time to end our video for today. Thanks again, Brett and Darin, for letting us come and meet with you guys and kind of learn more about the business. I know Tadd probably knows nothing about this business because it's not his forte, but I'm glad that I got some insight on it. So once again, Shoptalk with TNT. I'm Trent and Tadd from Farmers Insurance and Tadd Agency.
And I am Tadd Peterson with LakePlace.com Brothers Realty.
So thank you guys again. Have a good day. Bye.